Touch her the wrong way, and she may never say a word, but her body will start pulling away slowly, silently, want to know the difference between a touch she forgets and a touch she craves forever. Most men rush. They think touching her breasts is just about pleasure or fun or control, but a woman's body doesn't open up to hands. It opens up to energy. The truth is her chest holds emotional memories. The way you touch her there can either build trust, safety, or trigger shame she'll never speak of. And here's the secret no one told you. The right touch doesn't just feel good, it can actually encourage natural growth, firmness, and deeper bonding. In this video, I'm going to tell you what most men never learn: how to touch her boobs in a way that feels safe, sensual, and unforgettable for both of you. She was lying next to him, calm, quiet, but not disconnected. Her eyes were open, yet her body was speaking a language far deeper than words, and that's the first thing most men miss: her body speaks, long before her lips ever do. When a woman allows you close, truly close, she isn't just giving you access to her skin. She's allowing you into her space. Her nervous system, her emotions, her chest, her breasts are not just playful parts of her body. They're deeply tied to her feminine identity, her trust, and even her unconscious memories. That's why touching her the right way isn't just a technique, it's a mindset. See, most men rush. They go straight for the grab, a tight squeeze, a fast grope, a playful pinch, because that's what movies and adult sites show them. They think it's about being dominant, rough, bold. But here's the truth. The first reaction of her body will always be more honest than her words. If you rush in without listening, her body will stiffen even if she smiles. Her breath will shorten, her heart rate will spike, but not in a good way. She might not say anything, but she'll feel less safe, and next time, she'll pull away just a little bit earlier. Now flip the story. Let's say you slow down. You don't touch her breasts at all at first. You build presence, eye contact, calm breathing. You touch her waist, her hair, maybe her shoulder. You build tension, not lust. And when you finally reach her chest, you don't just grab, you pause, you let your hand rest. No movement, no pressure, just warmth. This single moment, that pause, tells her body that you're not here to take. You're here to connect, and in that exact moment, something incredible happens inside her. Her nervous system softens, her body leans into your hand instead of away, and her chest, her breasts begin to wake up, slowly, naturally, like a flower opening to sunlight. Touch, when done with presence, activates oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and oxytocin is directly linked with emotional connection, safety, and in some studies, even breast tissue health and firmness. When her body feels loved and not just used, it responds in a way that's both emotionally and physically visible. Now, this doesn't mean your touch needs to be weak or boring. No, it just means it needs to be felt. Pressure is fine, movement is fine, even a little roughness, but only after her body is already open. Think of it like knocking on a door gently before pushing it open. You don't just barge in, you let the energy of the room invite you. Here's a secret no one tells you. Her breasts aren't just sensitive on the nipples. The entire area has nerve endings that respond to temperature, pressure, rhythm, and even the emotion behind the touch. That's why the same motion from a stranger feels invasive, but from someone she trusts, it feels electric. Your hands are not just tools, they're translators. They translate your energy into sensation. And if your energy is grounded, focused, and intentional, she'll feel it in her core. There's also a hidden layer here, and it's often forgotten. A woman's chest is a memory zone. For many women, their relationship with their breasts has been confusing. Maybe they've been objectified, maybe they've been touched without consent in the past, maybe they've been made to feel either proud or ashamed of their size. You'll never know the full story, but her body remembers. So, when your touch is respectful, slow, patient, it's not just physical, you're rewriting how her body experiences safety, and when that happens, when she feels safe and desired at the same time, her natural hormones align, her tissues soften and fill with blood, her skin becomes more sensitive. The fullness increases not because you grabbed her hard, but because you made her feel safe enough to let go. And yes, over time, regular loving touch and soft massage with proper technique and oils can improve circulation, elasticity, and even the appearance of size. But none of that matters if her mind isn't relaxed. Because in women, arousal begins in the brain, not between the legs. So when you ask, how should I touch her boobs the right way? The answer is layered. You touch them with presence, not rush, with intention, not habit, with curiosity, not assumption, with care, not control, and most importantly, with patience, because when her body trusts you, it shows you everything. It's not about grabbing. It's not about size. It's about what your touch communicates before a single word is said. And when you get that right, she'll lean into you with more than just her chest. She'll bring her whole heart. That's the power of the right touch. This part dives deep into the difference between simply touching a woman's chest and truly connecting with it through intelligent, sensual, and respectful technique, the kind that builds both pleasure and physical response. He placed his hand on her chest and thought he was doing it right. Firm grip, playful squeeze, a little teasing, but what he didn't notice was her breath. It had shortened, her shoulders tensed only slightly. Her smile remained, but her body had pulled back. This is what most men miss. They confuse touch with technique. They believe contact alone creates pleasure, but women don't respond to contact. They respond to intention. Anyone can touch her. Very few can make her feel. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most men learn about breasts from porn, locker room jokes, or awkward teenage fantasies. Fast, hard, rough, playful. They think pleasure comes from pressure, that the more they squeeze, the more she feels. But breasts are not like clay. They're not toys. They're nerve-rich, hormone-sensitive, deeply emotional zones of a woman's body, and touching them the wrong way doesn't just turn her off physically, it tells her something deeper. This man doesn't know how to connect with me. That's why technique matters. Let's break this down. The human female breast has different types of tissue, fat, glands, muscle fibers, all covered by delicate skin and packed with blood vessels and nerves. That means every stroke, every press, every movement either enhances circulation, soothes sensitivity, or overstimulates and overwhelms. It's a fine line, but when you learn it, you become unforgettable. Start with temperature. Your hands must be warm, not cold, not sweaty, not dry. Warmth equals safety. Safety equals softness. Softness equals surrender. Then comes placement. Don't go for the center. Start from the edges, the sides of her breasts, the top near the collarbone, even beneath near her ribs. Glide in slow circles. Let your palm rest fully, not just fingers. It should feel like you're holding something precious, not something you're trying to shape or play with. Then move to movement. There's a rhythm, a rise and fall to her body's arousal. You can't just move at your own speed. You watch her breathing. You match her energy. You tease, pause, wait, and return. The best technique, it's not even always direct. Sometimes your hand hovers close but doesn't touch. That silence between touches, that anticipation makes her skin come alive. Now let's talk about the nipples, the most misunderstood part of the entire chest. Some men go for it too early, too hard. That's like pressing an accelerator when the engine isn't even on. It's jarring. You don't start with the nipples. You earn your way there. By the time you finally brush across that sensitive tip, she should already be craving it. Because her brain is already lit up with trust and expectation. It's also worth knowing this. Breast tissue responds to stimulation, not only emotionally but physically. Gentle massage improves blood flow. Increased blood flow brings warmth and fullness. Repetitive, soft circular motion, done over time, especially with oils like almond or olive oil, can make breasts feel fuller and more toned, but only when her mind is relaxed. A stressed, disconnected woman will not respond to touch no matter how skilled your hands are, because her body is in protection mode, not pleasure mode, so your technique starts before you even touch her. It starts with how you speak to her. It starts with how present you are in your eyes, in your breath, because if your body is rushing, needy, or distracted, your touch will carry that same chaos. Technique is not just hand movement, it's emotional alignment. Let me tell you a secret. There's a reason why some men can touch a woman for hours and she doesn't get bored, while others get just 30 seconds and she zones out. The difference: one touches to take, the other touches to awaken, and women, even without saying it, can feel the difference instantly. A man who touches to take will be impatient, ungrounded, seeking outcome. A man who touches to awaken will be present, patient, and curious. She doesn't want performance, she wants presence, and if you give her that, her body will give back. She'll arch into your hand, she'll breathe into your touch. She'll feel safe enough to open, and here's the wild part. In that state of softness, safety, and sensuality, her body releases oxytocin, increases blood flow, and yes, even supports healthy breast tissue. The pleasure becomes growth. The touch becomes transformation, but only when the technique is rooted in awareness, not ego. So the next time you reach for her chest, don't think about what you want. Think about what you're creating. It's not a grab, it's not a squeeze, it's a conversation between your fingers and her soul, because when you get that right, your touch won't just be remembered, it will be craved. Hormonal connection: when her body feels safe, aroused, and emotionally connected, certain natural hormones like oxytocin and estrogen respond. This affects not only mood and arousal, but even the fullness and firmness of her breasts. Ye narration tum, hairstyle, key mutabik storytelling, educational, suspenseful tone, main lick a gaya high, Joe audience co and tack bond car rack. She laid still, her eyes half closed, her breath steady and calm. The room was silent, but inside her, something was shifting, not just arousal, not just desire, but something deeper, a hormonal symphony quietly waking up. Most men don't even know this happens. They touch a woman's body thinking it's all about physical pleasure. Friction, pressure, movement, but her body doesn't respond like a machine. It's not just about touch. It's about how her brain interprets the touch. And when that interpretation feels safe, sensual, and emotionally connected, her body starts releasing chemicals that change everything. Let me explain. There are 3 main hormones involved in a woman's response during intimacy, and each one is like a key that unlocks a new layer of her experience. And yes, bro, this includes her mood, her desire, and even the firmness and fullness of her breasts. The first one is oxytocin. You may have heard it called the cuddle hormone or the love chemical, but it's more than just a nickname. Oxytocin is released when she feels safe, when your presence feels grounding. When your touch is not rushed, not greedy, not performance-based, a slow hand on her chest, a warm palm, a breath that matches hers, these may seem small, but to her body they say, "You're safe here," and in response, oxytocin flows. Here's what happens next. Oxytocin lowers her stress hormones, softens her body, makes her skin more sensitive, deepens emotional connection, enhances circulation to her breasts. Yes, that's right, the same hormone that makes her feel emotionally close to you also causes her chest to feel warmer, fuller, and more responsive. Not because you're squeezing harder, but because she's trusting deeper. Then comes the second hormone, estrogen. Most people think estrogen only has to do with periods and pregnancy, but estrogen also plays a big role in how a woman experiences sensual touch, especially around her breasts. Estrogen increases the number of nerve endings in the chest area, keeps breast tissue soft and healthy, makes her more aroused by gentle, rhythmic touch, supports firmness and skin elasticity over time. But here's the twist: estrogen doesn't respond to raw lust. It responds to emotional openness, to connection, to presence. When a woman is touched without emotional connection, her body might go along with it, but her hormones stay silent. But when she's touched with love, with care, with genuine desire to connect, her body opens chemically, not just physically. The third player, prolactin. Prolactin is released after deep emotional arousal or orgasm, and it's one of the hormones responsible for that blissful calm, that dreamy state where she just wants to curl into your chest and stay there. But prolactin also plays a secret role in breast tissue regulation. It helps her chest retain fullness, especially when it's combined with oxytocin and gentle physical stimulation. So what does this all mean, bro? It means when you touch her with care, you're not just creating pleasure, you're activating her entire hormonal ecosystem. It's like her body has a hidden control panel, and every time you're patient, present, and emotionally tuned in your hands, press those buttons the right way. Now let me give you a real-life example. There's a guy, quiet, kind, never in a rush. He doesn't say much, but when he touches her, she melts, not because his hands are magic, but because his energy is calm. He touches her breasts like they are connected to her soul, not just her body. He doesn't go straight for the nipples. He lets his hands rest. He breathes with her. He watches her eyes, not just her curves. And guess what? Her body responds, her chest becomes more sensitive, her breathing changes, her skin warms, her breasts over time even feel fuller and more alive, not because of pressure, but because of presence. This is where most men go wrong. They ask, how can I make her boobs grow? But the better question is, how can I touch her in a way that makes her hormones feel safe enough to support her natural beauty? Because here's a secret no one tells you. A woman's body becomes more beautiful in the presence of emotional safety. You want her curves to grow, give her consistency, give her warmth, give her non-sexual affection often, and watch how her body naturally becomes softer, fuller, more expressive. Massage oils help, natural lubricants support skin elasticity, light circular motions improve blood flow, but none of that works if her brain